Welcome back to Pandemic Legacy March. All right, we're beginning gameplay. We're starting with Trevor. And Trevor is starting in the same place as Nick. And he's friends with Nick. So if you start in the same turn, city as your friend, you may look at but not rearrange the top two cards of the player deck. So he gets to go ahead and do that. So we get to a little bit of foreknowledge of what's coming up. So we get to look at the top two cards of the player deck, and we'll see if there's a... we can't rearrange them, so... oh, Manila and Bangkok. Oh, great. So he's going to be getting 2 red cards. That is the disease we cannot cure. We can't even treat it. So those cards are not going to do any good. All right, we're going to zoom up to where Trevor begins up here in Essen and have him take his 4 actions. All right, so I think it's going to be pretty straightforward for Trevor. He is going to move 1 to London, 2 down to Madrid. For his 3rd action, because he's the medic, he can treat and remove all disease cubes with a single action. So that's his 3rd action, getting rid of the Milan pox there at Madrid. And for his 4th action, he also now has local connections. Once per turn, you may treat disease in a city connected to your city. So he can either get rid of all the cubes off Sao Paulo, or he can go ahead and get them all off of New York. So I think he'll treat New York as well. Boom! That's pretty good. That's his 4 actions. He's pretty much taken care of the blue disease, the Milan pox there. All right, now he's going to get a couple of cards. And this will be no surprise because we looked at them because he was friends with Nick. So the 2 cards he gets are, yeah, Milan and Bangkok. That's pretty garbagey. All right. There you go. And yep, now it is time for the infection stage. All right, it's infection time, and we're sitting at 2. And so we're going to be pulling 2 cards off the infection deck, and we're going to be adding 1 cube to each of these cities. And Paris is going to be getting a bit of Milan pox happening. So Paris is right here. And our second card for, whoops, as I grab second card, not 2 or 3. Our second card is going to be Algiers. It's going to get 1 of the black disease cubes right there. All right, that was very quickly Trevor's turn. Up next, Vicky, our scientist. All right, I think Vicky's turn is going to be pretty straightforward as well. She's got Montreal, Kolkata, and her friend, her co-worker, I should say, Gwen, has Khartoum and Lima. So they don't share any colored cards at all. Vicky can cure diseases with only 4 cards, though. Oh, and I should mention the Milan pox. We also have a common structure tag on there as well. You no longer need to be in a research station to discover a cure for the disease. So the blue disease, as soon as someone gets either 5 cards or for Vicky 4 cards, we can immediately cure the disease anywhere on the board. We don't have to go to a CDC, just so you know. Forgot that. All right. So for her 4 actions, very quickly, she's going to be here. She's going to go 1 to London, 2 to Madrid, 3 to Sao Paulo, and 4 she will treat disease in Sao Paulo, just so we do not get an outbreak anywhere. So now all of the locations on the board that have had 3 disease cubes do not have 3 anymore. That was very quickly Vicky's 4 actions, and now it's time for her to draw a couple cards. And she will be drawing a couple of cards. It would be nice if she gets some matching colors. She gets Riyadh and Ho Chi Minh City. Well, she's got a couple of black cards now. And you can have a total hand limit of 7 cards. All right, it is time now to infect some more cities. So far, so not horrible. All right, Vicky's 2 cities. We're at 2. Is Milan is going to get a little bit of Milan pox. How appropriate, right there. And her second city getting infected will be Johannesburg. South Africa is going to be getting the lovely Cobra 403. So down here we go for that. All right, quickly, that was Vicky's turn. Up next, Gwen. All right, so Gwen's first of 4 actions, she's going to fly right here from Essen and make her way over to Tapai. I believe you say it. I know I pronounce these things wrong. I apologize. That was her first action. Now let's zoom down over here and see what else she wants to do. Remember, once per turn, you may use your quarantine action to place a quarantine marker anywhere on the board. And the quarantine markers are never removed from the city you're in. Cool. All right, so let's get her... She's got 3 actions left. Alright, for her 3 actions, she's just going to go ahead and put a quarantine marker on Seoul. She can do that anywhere in the world. So that was one of her 3 actions. Then she's going to move to Osaka, Japan. And then, for her final action, being the quarantine specialist, she's going to put a quarantine marker on Osaka. So basically 3 regions now in the Pacific Rim area and up in Asia that have the red cubes, which can't be treated, can't be cured now, have quarantine markers on them. So that's good. That's good. Alright, that was her 4 actions, and now she gets to grab a couple cards. Alright, it's time for her to draw a couple cards. It'd be nice to see 2 yellow cards. She gets Chennai and Jakarta. Ugh, a black and a red. Well, neither of those is going to help her a lot. The Chennai card can help Vicky, though. Cure the black disease. Yeah, and you can share knowledge. She can share knowledge with Vicky. So if she can get to Chennai on the board, then she can just give Vicky that card. Alright, well, now it's time to infect some cities. Once again, it's time to do the bad stuff. So, infecting cities, and we get Tokyo. Oh, come on! The incurable disease is now in Tokyo. Oh boy. Well, I know what we're going to be doing with Gwen most of this episode, or most of this of March. And our second one for the second disease is Khartoum. It's going to get Cobra 403. Oh, right here. Okay, so far, so okay. Up last for our episode is going to be Nick. And Nick is still sitting in Essen, so let's figure out what we want to do with Nick. Alright, so I'm zooming down a little bit here on Nick because there's something we want to do for his first action. And he has here, once per turn, as an action, move from any city containing a structure, which is a military structure or a CDC center, to any city, including Riding, Collapsing, Fallen, by discarding any city card. So he's at a CDC, he's going to discard Beijing, just get rid of it, and he can move now anywhere he wants. So let's see where he wants to go. Alright, so he is just going to pop right to Montreal. And you're thinking, well, why doesn't he go to Atlanta and whatever? But that's just the quickest way for him to do it. The red cards aren't going to do us any good. We cannot treat the disease. We can't cure it. And we already have Gwen over there trying to keep things under control. That was his first action. For his second and third action, yep, he's going to go ahead and do 2 treat disease, Milan pox, there in Montreal. And for his fourth and final action, it says, as an action, build a structure in the city you are in, no card required. Boom! He is going to go ahead and build a military structure right there in Montreal. We are 1/6 of the way towards completing the one objective, which is have a military base in each of the 6 major regions of the world. So North America now has a military base. Cool. All right. Now it's time for him to grab a couple cards. Alright, it's 2 cards time for Nick, and oh, why do I have a funny feeling? Oh, this funny feeling, and the funny feeling is, of course, so he gets the place that I can never pronounce properly, so I won't say it. Is that upside down? It's upside down. Okay, there we go. Epidemic. Oh man, increase the infection rate marker 1 space. Alright, let's start with that. Okay, that's not cause for panic yet. We go from 2 to 2, so we'll be drawing 2 cards. The rest of this card is pretty awful, though. In fact, draw the bottom card of the infection deck and put 3 cubes on that city, and then discard that city. So the bottom of the deck is this one, and the name I can't pronounce gets 3. Oh, wow. Let's go ahead and put 3 on there. Ah, yes, here we go. 3. The Cobra 403 shows up right here. Now that's not the end of this card. Oh no, of course not. Epidemics are very bad. Intensify. Shuffle the cards in the infection discard pile and put them back on top of the infection deck. Yep. Well, let's go ahead and do that. Okay, we are going to be taking all of these cards, which is actually a lot of them. I'm going to be giving these a good shuffle. And we're going to hope that Bogota does not show up. Otherwise, we're going to have an outbreak there, which is going to be very, very unpleasant for everyone concerned. All right, and we're only drawing 2 cards because now we're going to be going right into the Infect Cities phase of Nick's turn. Yeah, was this, well, I knew the epidemic was coming. I just wasn't sure when. But now we know it's coming. It came. All right, shuffled enough. 2 cards. I'm going to put that back on top. The first card that is going to get an infection cube is Milan. Okay, we dodged an outbreak. Milan now has 2, and the next card is going to be Osaka, Japan. Or is it? Or is it? No. Oh, you know what? That is very fortunate for us because in Osaka, Japan, currently, we've got Gwen. And Gwen specifically says, quarantine markers are never removed from the city you are in. Oh, we got lucky there. So, we had a quarantine marker there. If she wasn't there, the quarantine marker would come off. We wouldn't get any cubes. But because she is there, we don't get any cubes, and we don't even remove the quarantine marker. Awesome! Well, whew, there we go. That's going to end off our episode for today, our first turn. And yeah, we've got to somehow put a plan in place to cure the 3 diseases. I think we are going to start getting military bases pumped everywhere we possibly can. Get that out of the way. I'm not sure we're going to eradicate anything, but you never know. So thanks so much for watching along. Thanks for your comments, subscriptions, likes, dislikes, participation of any kind. I do appreciate it. It helps my channel. This is Pandemic Legacy Season 1. We are beginning March. And in like a lion, out like a lamb, or maybe in like a lamb, out like a lion. I don't know. We're going to find out. So thanks so much. We'll see you tomorrow for the continuation.